welcome Virgo. This is going to be a general reading for you today. Thank you for clicking on my channel and giving it a shot. Please forgive me if I have like this camera angle wonky or the cards are showing up funny or something like that. I'm still very new. I'm recording on a phone and like a really cheap like arm mechanical weird phone thing. I don't know what it's called, but that's what I'm recording on. I'm still learning how the layout all works and all that stuff, so please be patient with me. Today I'm just doing a general reading for you and for the other earth signs. The main deck that I'm using for you today is called the Murder of Crows Tarot. I'm just going to do a Celtic cross to see, what's kind of happening in your life right now and the future, things like that. And I am going to be clarifying with another deck. It is called the Welcome to Night Vale Tarot deck by Jessica Hayworth. That particular deck actually has a bit of gore and tryptophobia things, some kind of violent imagery. If that's not really something you're into, then you can just start listening instead whenever I start to clarify, or you can always click on another tarot reading. That is totally fine. I'm just doing this to see if this will help anyone, or maybe just heck if you want to have fun with it. Okay. And underneath we have the Knight of Swords in reverse. So it feels like you have an idea, but you're really taking your time and really contemplating whether or not you want this idea. This is upright, but it's in the reverse. You have the Knight of Swords in reverse. So it feels like you have an idea about something. It's a brand new idea, and you're really just contemplating whether or not you're going to go through with it, and whether or not you should, or whatever. Maybe there's circumstances around you that makes you feel like you shouldn't. But let's get into the clarifiers and see. So right off the bat, in your current situation position, we have the Four of Wands in reverse. So it feels like, usually Four of Wands is all about, home life, community, celebration, things like that. It feels to me like you are a person who kind of lives away from family. You don't have your family near you, and it doesn't necessarily feel bad. It just kind of feels like that's the way it is. I mean, you miss them from time to time, but that's just how it worked out. Yeah, the Page of Pentacles in the upright position. It feels like everyone is kind of just starting something new, and you decided to start something new yourself and go somewhere maybe somewhere you haven't gone before, or just wanted to do some sort of new thing in general. Maybe living on your own for the first time, or maybe you're living with a roommate for the first time, or something like that. It's the situation it's impacting is the Nine of Wands upright. So it feels like you're a bit anxious about it. You feel kind of on edge, a little defensive, not sure what to do. You have the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. So it feels like because you're not home anymore, or this is what I'm taking this as, because you're not home anymore, you're anxious that this new place that you're at you're gonna basically fall into some sort of money pit with maybe rent, maybe with your home. Maybe something happens, you're afraid that maybe you live on the coast. Maybe you're afraid that there's going to be some sort of horrible natural disaster that happens. It feels something like that. Like, because you're not near family members who might be able to help you, you feel like this is a huge risk to take, like a huge leap of faith. We have here the Knight of Cups in reverse in the root of the cause. So the root of the situation is the Knight of Cups reversed with the Three of Pentacles upright. So I'm wondering here if your family unit here was either starting to feel constraining. No, that's not what it is. That's not what it is. You are trying your hardest to like kind of want your family to be together and keep them together, and you still are trying that. You're still trying to, you know, call them and hang out with, well, not hang out with them, but, you know, call them and talk to them more often because, like, you know, moved out and all that stuff. But, like, it feels like you're putting in a lot of effort to try and, like, way more effort than everyone else is trying to, like, keep everybody together. Maybe it's working, but it does feel like you feel like it's not as appreciated as you want it. It feels like you want it to be. You don't feel as appreciated for putting in this effort. So in the things that are going out, we have the Page of Swords in the upright position, along with the Nine of Wands in the upright position. So if it kind of ties back with this, it feels like you have been just kind of waiting, because this page looks like he's just standing his ground. He's waiting, looking off into the distance for something. And in this depiction of the Nine of Wands, this guy's getting burned up. So it feels like you're leaving the feeling of being like burning up, trying to do this and waiting for people to meet you halfway. You're done with that. You're just tired of that. That's leaving. You don't want to wait anymore. So maybe that means you're just gonna go ahead and go visit them. Maybe that means that you're only going to just call if they call, or I don't know, something like that. It feels like you're not gonna put in as much Knight of Cups energy, like reversed, which I feel like Knight of Cups is like giving your all about something, but this feels like you're giving too much of something if it's in reverse for me. So in your near future, there's Nine of Pentacles reversed, along with the Devil upright. So it feels like it kind of feels like you have some sort of an addiction. You're in a never-ending loop, a never-ending spiral of like needing to get your, I don't know, your fix of something. Like you enjoy alcohol, maybe you like cigarettes, maybe it's like hard drugs, maybe it's something like that. And it feels like it's in the near future, it's gonna bite your finances a little bit more than it has been in the past. And it could be because inflation's happening at the current time that I'm recording this. Maybe it's because of something else, but it feels like there's something to do with some sort of addiction. It could be an addiction of anything, honestly, but it's gonna end up taking a bit of your finances, it feels like. But in your distant future, you have the Six of Pentacles, which is about being able to share the wealth, which is nice. The Eight of Cups in reverse. So is it nice? It feels like you're going to be okay financially again in the future, but the Eight of Cups in reverse, Eight of Cups is supposed to be walking away from something, but it feels like you're being pulled back. It feels like you're being pulled back into something. Maybe you're going to be pulled back into, like, maybe this family situation. And you're going to be, like, just, like, you know, hey, here's some of this, some of that. Here's, like, I don't know, some old stuff that I have. Here's some extra money I had lying around, or, you know, something along those lines. Maybe you have kids and they're all getting older now, and you just feel like you need to, like, pay them and pay them and pay them and pay them. And it's not a bad thing. It feels like it's a generous thing, but it also feels like it's almost expected of you. In your current position, your current energy and emotions, we have the Eight of Swords. So a lot of anxieties, feeling trapped, feeling stuck. Yeah, with the Four of Pentacles, this is, like, you can see he's got all four of his, like, limbs in the earth. He's, like, just in the ground. He also is kind of trapped, but he's doing that mostly to himself. He's holding on, so it feels like you are doing something and you feel anxiety about it, you feel trapped, you feel all these things about it. However, it feels like you kind of did this to yourself and you're just stubbornly not letting go of whatever this is. Like, maybe you got a job and you hate this job. You absolutely cannot stand this job. But you already got the job, so you're stubbornly going to be in it and not pay attention to this. Or maybe it's because you moved and you feel like you just feel kind of trapped, you feel isolated, things like that, but you already moved. You're stubborn about it. Maybe it's something like that. Whoop, that just popped out. Okay, so someone around you, the Nine of Swords with the Three of Swords, somebody's having a rough time. It feels like someone around you is just feeling really, having a lot of fear, a lot of heartbreak, a lot of just depressed emotions. They feel kind of lost, they don't feel good. They feel really down. It could be, honestly, excuse me if you are upset about this, but like it seems like this person around you could be actually kind of suicidal. If you know anyone who's having maybe a hard patch, maybe reach out to them. If this sounds familiar, it just does feel like they are having a really rough time. They have a lot of fear, but they also have like a lot of sadness to go with that. It's not a good energy. But we have here in your hopes and fears the Ten of Cups, which is all that emotional fulfillment. You know, rainbow in the sky with the Four of Wands. Yeah, you really want upright. You want that celebration with your family. You want that happiness, that celebration, that like home life that's like really nice, really happy. It's really a nice picture of like what you hope for. You know, maybe things will work out. Maybe it will, because it doesn't feel like this is overall bad energy. It just feels like you're doing a lot to try and keep things together for your family. It doesn't feel like it's necessarily a horrible thing, but it's just a little more work than you'd like. And your outcome, we have the Five of Wands in reverse, the Two of Pentacles in reverse. So it feels like, to me, with your outcome, you're not going to have to try and balance anything anymore. It feels like feel like you're walking on eggshells for something. Maybe for someone, maybe it has to do with this whole family thing, moving thing, I don't know. Maybe you moved because of a person convinced you to move or something and you felt like you had to, but it feels like you're no longer going to be walking on eggshells and doing this balancing act. It doesn't feel like there's going to be a lot of conflict. It feels like you don't need to balance anything. It feels like in the outcome of all of this, if you keep on keeping on, it's going to work out. See at the bottom, yeah, we have Judgment. So, yeah, rising up and like, yeah, taking a stance. Excuse the sirens, I live very close to a highway. But yeah, it doesn't feel like, this entire reading doesn't feel bad. It just feels like you feel like you're putting in a lot of work. It feels like you're not as emotionally fulfilled as you want to be, but it doesn't feel like you're overall in a really bad place. So at least there's that. But yeah, thank you Virgo for checking out my channel, and I'll see you later. Thanks. Bye.